Department for Continental Shelf, Maritime Zones Administration and Exploration, in consultation with the Attorney General's Office, is still working on a safety code of practice and environment code of practice. Therefore, as at date, the Act has not yet been proclaimed and no concession or license has been granted for petroleum exploration in our exclusive economic zone. However, I wish to add that in 2016, government invited expressions of interest for the conduct of multi-client seismic surveys for hydrocarbon exploration in 4 selected areas of the exclusive economic zone of Mauritius, at no cost to government. The 4 areas selected on the basis of their geological formation and thus the potential for hydrocarbon resources were as follows. 1. An area of approximately 18,000 kilometers square in the region of Agalega. 2. An area of approximately 108,000 kilometers square in the region of the northern Mascarene Basin. 3. An area of approximately 20,000 kilometers square in the region of the northern Saya de Mala. And 4. An area of approximately 228,000 kilometers square in the region of Nazareth and Carcados and Carajos banks. 8 companies had submitted their expressions of interest by June 2016. The bids were evaluated, and in October 2017, the 8 companies were invited to submit their requests for proposal. In response to that exercise, only 3 companies submitted their bids. The bids were assessed, and CGG Services UK Limited obtained the highest marks in terms of compliance with the technical, environmental and financial criteria. Between June 2018 and April 2019, negotiations were held with CGG Services UK Limited to agree, inter alia, on the following provisions to be included in the agreement. 1. The multi-client seismic surveys will be carried out by CGG Services UK Limited at no cost to government. 2. The geoscientific data collected pursuant to the multi-client seismic surveys shall remain at all times the property of the government of Mauritius. 3. The surveys will be carried out within a period of 24 months as from the date of the issue of a survey license. This period may be extended by mutual agreement between the parties for a period of 1 year. 4. The government will grant exclusive right to CGG Services UK Limited to license the data to third parties on a non-exclusive multi-client basis to use the geoscientific data. 5. CGG Services UK Limited will have an exclusive period of not more than 9 years to market and license the data as from the end of the seismic data processing. At the end of the exclusive period, the exclusive right shall be exercised by the government of Mauritius. 6. The cost of the geoscientific survey, inclusive of acquisition, processing, interpretation, marketing, and sales, will be $1,450 per line kilometer. And 7. CGG Services UK Limited will proceed with the survey only if it is able to secure pre-commitment underwriting from potential oil and gas companies. In October 2019, government agreed to award the contract for the conduct of multi-client seismic surveys for hydrocarbon exploration, covering a total of 46,957 line kilometers in 4 selected areas of our exclusive economic zone to CGG Services SAS, and sign an agreement between the Government of Mauritius and CGG Services SAS for the conduct of geoscientific survey. In January 2020, the agreement for the conduct of geoscientific survey was signed between the government and CGG Services SAS. The agreement provides CGG Services SAS with 18 months of marketing period so as to secure pre-commitment underwriting, that is, a pre-funding from potential oil and gas companies. However, CGG Services SAS has requested that the marketing period be extended due to the following reasons. One, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on global industry, creating an oversupply of hydrocarbons and consequently reducing oil and gas market prices. As a result, international oil companies have had difficulties to raise investment capital for exploration. And two, there has been a significant reduction in exploration spending in frontier areas. Following an improvement in the state of affairs regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, CGG Services SAS is pursuing its promotional activities in order to secure pre-commitment underwriting from potential oil and gas companies. Earlier this month, CGG Services SAS were at the Africa Oil Week in Cape Town, South Africa, which is the premier event for oil and gas in Africa, as part of its marketing and promotional activities. Once CGG Services SAS has secured pre-commitment underwriting from oil and gas companies, it will then submit a request for a prospecting permit to the Department for Continental Shelf, Maritime Zones, Administration and Exploration in line with the provisions of the new Offshore Petroleum Act. Mr. Speaker, sir, my government firmly believes that now with a more appropriate framework, which is set out by the Offshore Petroleum Act, it will provide the necessary impetus in accelerating the development of our ocean economy and tapping the latent resources in our vast maritime zones.